Welcome to existence. Everyone's here. Everyone's here. Everybody's.
All right, everyone. Good morning. Magandang umaga po and welcome to our iVote Code Pulse Check, the Baguio we want and the Baguio they promise. To start off with our event, let us invite everyone to please rise up for our opening prayer.
So, together, O good and just God, we come before you rejoicing that you have made us in your image and likeness. You have given us the capacity to know you and to share your life. We thank you for the dignity we have as human persons and as citizens. As we face yet another election, help us to overcome cynicism with hope by remembering that our votes matter because we are precious in your eyes. Give us the boldness to recognize that our vote is a voice. Together, our voices promote change for what is really good, not just for our families, communities, cities, but also for our country. Together, we are less prone to the illusion of empty promises and the threats of violence and allure of purchase. Together, we say no to vote buying and its variations. Let our votes be the fruit of a communal process of discernment, so when we cast them, we help bring to government the right people for the task. Amen.
Please remain standing for the national anthem.
Thank you very much. May we request everyone to please sit down. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, may we request our beloved Bishop, Most Reverend Carlete J. Senson, CICM Bishop of the Diocese of Baguio, to give us an opening remarks.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for the opportunity you give me to welcome you all for this very important and sacred activity we are going to do today, which is to gather and listen to our fellow citizens who have signified their candidacy to serve in our local government of Baguio. This is a very important day indeed because it is their voice that we need to listen to with one question. What do you intend? What do you plan as you want to serve Baguio? What is the meaning of your service? We are going to listen to them in the context of our own journey. As you know, there is something very important that happened in Baguio this year, 2015, 2016. In that people of Baguio have been expressing their desire to come together and talk about what are our concerns about Baguio and what would we like to see happen in Baguio so that this will be a better place for all of us to live in, because there are concerns. And so the Diocese of Baguio listened to the invitation and the request for us to convene people. We invited people, come, let us talk. If you have something to say about Baguio, umali ayo. And so we happened to meet at the UP with more than 500 persons of all representations from Baguio. Older men as well as middle men, younger people, coming together expressing what they wanted for Baguio. And we came with several clusters of concerns. Concerns that are really our subject matter for Baguio. When you talk about Baguio, you want to talk about the environment, how nice it is to have a clean environment and protected environment. And we want to talk about our problems with traffic, our problems with waste, and the management of waste or lack of management of it. We are talking about our peace and order, about governance. These things that have clustered themselves and crystallized into concerns that we would like our public servants, those who apply to serve us, should address. And so we are going to listen to our candidates in this context. We already have certain perspectives of the kind of Baguio we want, and we continue to deepen that every day by our conversations with one another. Ano pa ang pwedeng pagandahin sa Baguio? Let us not allow Baguio to deteriorate. And then we will listen to what the candidates will promise us. This is a time for them to shape up what they want to tell us. So mabuhay tayong lahat. God bless us in our exercise.
All right, maraming salamat. Thank you very much, Most Reverend Carleto J. Senson, CICM, the Bishop of the Diocese of Baguio.
Yes, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Would like to welcome Attorney John Paul Martin of COMELEC Election Office. Would like to recognize him. Nandito na po ba siya? Hi, magandang umaga po, sir. And also would like to thank the people of Baguio who are here today to join us in the Baguio that I Vote Good Forum this morning, Albert.
Ayan, of course, ang ating pulse check, the Baguio we want, and the Baguio they promised.
Yes, and we'd like to call on Mr. Attorney John Paul Martin. Palakpakan po natin siya.
Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Ngayon pa lang, i-comment ko na yung organizers ng event na ito for a good setup. Ang ganda po ng ating stage. Ang dami pong lumahok. When Father Manny talked about this activity, ang sabi ko agad, why not? This candidates forum, as perceived, is a venue, an avenue for the candidates to give their platforms of government. This is also a medium for our voters to know their candidates better. Noong October 12 to 16, 2015, our candidates or would-be candidates manifested their intention to run for public office. At alam po natin ang ating opisina sa gobyerno, like them being elected by the people, ay sagrado. Kasi may kaakibat itong trust and confidence. So nung pinopose ni Father Manny itong activity na ito, in line with my other project sa COMELEC, na nakafocus sa mga botante, sabi ko agad, sige, Father, mag-co-conduct tayo ng candidates forum. And then one by one, may pumupunta sa opisina. Students from UP Diliman na taga Baguio, students from UP Baguio, other government agencies like NEDA, and other stakeholders, including the PWD sector and the senior citizen sector. They signified their interest to know the candidates better. So ang sinabi ko sa kanila, why not make an integrated candidates forum para minsanan nating ibato sa kanilang lahat ng ating mga kandidato ang ating mga hinaing. Minsanan nating sabihin at dinggin ang kanilang mga plataforma. In this way, we have achieved or we will achieve an inclusive and participative elections. Nakikita na po natin ang ating inclusivity ngayon. Andito yung mga iba't ibang sectors na interesado para sa kapakanan ng ating syudad. Dito yung mga senior citizen, nakita ko rin yung mga representative po ng PWD, nakita ko rin po yung mga representatives ng students, mga youth. Andito rin yung mga NEDA, dito rin yung mga barangay officials, at andito rin ang ating mga kandidato. You know why God created man with 2 ears and 1 mouth? Because He wants us to listen more and talk less. Listening promotes being heard. You seek first to understand, then be understood. Listening is an ability. It is a skill. It's not really a talent. Kailangan nating i-master kung paano makinig. Para sa ating mga kandidato o magiging kandidato, this is an opportunity for you to listen to the people. At para din sa ating mga botante, this is also an opportunity for you to listen to your candidates. The best way to understand people is to listen to them. So, with this one-day-long activity, may we please listen. Thank you very much at magandang umaga po.
All right, thank you very much, Attorney John Paul Martin, COMELEC Election Officer of the City of Baguio. And ulitin natin, magbigay ng isang masigabong palakpakan sa lahat ng nandirito.
Yan, maraming salamat for joining the forum today.
Oo, ngayong Lunes, araw na araw ng Lunes, March 7, exactly dito sa ating venue, the Baguio Convention Center. Magandang umaga din sa iyo, partner na Nathan.
Magandang umaga, partner Albert. And magandang umaga rin po sa inyong lahat.
And syempre sa lahat ng nakikinig sa atin, partner Nathan, at sa lahat ng nandirito ngayon sa Convention Center, we would like to inform you that we are being heard live over radio station Visit WT 540. Kadagiti dangdangay, kadagitay na nadumadu mga pagtangan, iti syudad, iti Baguio. maraming salamat na sa kanilang pag-unlock sa atin, sa kanilang radio sets, para din tayong nakipagkasambahay sa kanila.
Tama.
Ika nga sa Ilocano. Thank you very much. Iti panagdangag da iti radyo kat antay makikabalay man ng kanyada. And at this point, syempre, kasama natin ang iba't ibang mga maglilingkod sa atin, yung ating mga candidates, no?
Yes, our other mga konsehal, Vice Mayor, Mayor, and Congressman.
Yes.
Yan.
And of course, sigana nabanggit kanina ni Attorney John Paul Martin, dito mismo sa ating area ay magkakaiba talaga tayo. Hindi maliban sa iba-iba yung ating itsura, iba-iba yung ating ngiti, taglay din natin ang ating mga concerns siguro na gusto nating iparamdam sa ating mga candidates in the form of the questions that were earlier contributed to us sa kasamang Nathan.
Yeah, ito yung opportunity sa kanila para malaman nila kung sino yung karapat-dapat.
Oo.
Ayan.
And syempre, maraming salamat din sa iba pang mga kasama natin sa media na magiging outlet ng ating panayam ngayon sa mga candidates. This is Pulse Check, the Baguio we want, and the Baguio they promise local candidates forum mismo dito sa ating Baguio Convention Center. At kasamang Nathan para magbigay pa sa atin ng mas malalim na ibig sabihin ng ating ginagawang
Pulse check.
yes, ngayong umaga. At sa event na ito, tawagin natin magbigay sa atin ng rasyonale.
Si Reverend Father Manny Flores. Palakpakan po natin siya.
Reverend Father Manny Flores, siya po ang ating convener sa Pulse Check, the Baguio we want, in the Baguio they promise, a local candidate forum.
Thank you very much. This forum is meant to jumpstart the election awareness of the citizens of Baguio about the different candidates. What the organizers and the many volunteers have in mind are the voters. We would like to help them know who these candidates are, their political platforms, and how do they respond to the issues. This is not meant to endorse any candidates, but to present all candidates. And it is our hope that as knowledge is increased, not only about the candidates, but also the issues of the city and how to respond to them, the voters will be facilitated in choosing the proper person for the task in government. Thank you.
Yan.
Alright, maraming salamat kay Reverend Father Manny Flores. Siya po yung convener ng Pulse Check, the Baguio we want, and the Baguio they promised local candidate forum.
Alright, let's talk about the mechanics of the forum, partner Albert. Well expected natin na the forum for this morning will run for an hour and 30 minutes. Actually, per office po yan. So, from the councilor, vice mayor, mayor, congressman. And for the mechanics, Sir Albert?
Okay, so we have them posted already on the screen. Okay, we set our call time, and of course, we're expecting our candidates to be around with us as we give time to our crew or to our team to give prior briefings to each one of them. And this morning, we will be having, first in the set will be the vice mayoralty candidates, and that will be followed by the councilors. Do we have that?
Yeah,
Okay.
councilors.
And of course, the House of Representative and the candidates for the mayoralty position. And we expect our candidates will be called and introduced by how they have answered the question. How do I identify with Baguio? Their pictures and basic information will be projected on screen.
And they're given opening statements for 2 minutes. So this will be timed and a digital timer will appear on our screen. So yung mic volume will be turned down if they go beyond the said time limit. So careful lang po tayo sa oras. And this is only for the House this is only for the House representative, mayor, and vice mayor candidates.
Yeah, syempre meron tayong timer. Nasaan na yung ating digital timer for the guide in the queuing of our candidates. And at the same time, there will be a bell that will be rung. So we'll be giving you a warning bell 10 seconds before your time will lapse.
Ayan, sample.
Okay, klarong-klaro kasamang Nathan. And the candidates, so okay, we'll be given time to answer the questions. That's 1 minute for every question. We repeat that sa mga mayors, representatives, House of Representatives and Vice Mayors, we will be giving them first 2 minutes for their opening statement. But for the candidates for the City Council, right away we draw the common questions in which all of them will answer and will be given 1 minute time frame.
Exactly. And we just want to make it clear that this is not a debate. All right? The candidates are only to respond to the questions. They are not to counter any statement by other candidates.
So they will have to focus on the questions being
Yes,
asked
exactly.
of them.
So, hindi yung better opinion. Yan.
Baka mamaya magkaroon ng...
Iniiwasan natin yan.
Oo.
That's a rule. To moderating.
Kaya pag suminyas tayo, paring Nathan, ibig sabihin medyo kailangan nating
Kami po yung
ibalik
magko-control.
sa,
Awat. Kami yung taga-awat.
Ayan. But of course, this is something that we like so much in Baguio, and even in our place, our election had always been so clean, so friendly, so civil. That's why we anticipate from our candidates same decorum that they had been showing all this, political exercises.
Yes. Gaya na sabi natin last time, kakaiba ang election dito sa Baguio.
And kasamang Nathan, our questions will have to fall or will be drawn from along the following topics. Some of the questions will be lifted from community participation.
Governance and legislation implementation.
And some questions will be drawn from concerns about well-being and mobility.
Land use and zoning. Blist
course.
and autonomy ng car.
Yeah. And of course, the discussion on the Blist area or the Blist project. That is Baguio, La Trinidad, Itogon, Sablan, Tuba, and Tublay. And likewise, the discussions on the autonomy for the Cordillera region.
Heritage also will be discussed today, as well as local business and tourism.
Yes, and we also, of course, include, as per special request from our constituents, concerns on waste management.
And, of course, air and noise pollution in Baguio.
And, of course, we have their concerns along trees and water concerns. This and more kasamang Nathan.
Yes. And these questions will have the following form. So, look, may basket po kami dito. Questions written on paper, then to be drawn from a box container.
Ayan, so tayo ang bubunot, So at least na-squabble na yan, bubunot tayo ng question which our candidates will have to answer.
Okay, and you'll see a picture projected for comments.
Yeah. Okay.
Yan, mukhang excited na yung mga taong marinig yung mga candidates natin.
Kasamang Nathan, meron din tayong mga katanungan. There will be questions which will be answered by all the candidates. Then there will be questions which are meant to be answered individually by the candidates by drawlets.
Now, every after forum per office, there will be text polls for the duration given. So the text polls will be used to give a survey of who the people are inclined to vote.
Correction.
And to know, yes,
Correction.
Father.
There will be no more text polls or
No
surveys.
more.
So we have removed that portion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you po, Father.
Okay, but anyway, we will be having more of inviting our listeners and our audience and our constituents in Baguio, not only in their participation to today's event.
Yes.
Because soon we will be having our website that will be launched. We'll be talking about the details of this later on at the end of our coverage. So please stand by on the details on how else our constituents, people of Baguio, can still participate in our political exercises.
Okay, and just a few reminders, house rules lang po. Let us all be civil in our dealings. So no booing and the like. And if ever you will be asked out by our staff na nandito ngayon. So better lang po siguro if we listen and to our candidates.
Ayan, sa mga may nagdala ng banners and campaign materials pertaining to the candidates, hindi muna natin yan i-allow dito sa venue natin. So, kindly contain them first. And probably when you are done, probably you continue along with your campaign. That's the time you will make use of your campaign materials and banner. In the meantime, we repeat, ipagbawal muna natin yan dito sa loob.
Opo. And of course, gusto po namin, yung cellphones din po natin is on silent mode. para po hindi ma-distract yung candidates natin habang sumasagot sila. At para mapakinggan din ninyong mabuti yung mga isasagot nila.
And alam mo, kasamang Nathan, may request din sa atin to level off daw sa ating pagtawag sa mga pangalan ng ating mga candidates, and so that it will be the attention of our audience and listeners will be more focused on the name, maging uniform ang pagtawag natin sa kanila.
Okay.
So, sir, pag lalaki, pag babae
And
naman,
ma'am. We'll address them.
Ayan, so I hope that will be clear para hindi ko kayo magtataka bakit hindi natin nabanggit kung ano po yung mga karagdagang mga titles so nila. Alam po natin, maraming mga exposures and experiences, maraming mga educational attainment or accomplishments yung ating mga candidates that we may not be able to accommodate or to acknowledge sa ating program.
Okay.
Nagiging excited na ako.
Kaya nga eh. Gusto ko na rin kasi pakinggan.
Okay. So sa ngayon, we without much ado, let's proceed now to the heart of the discussion and the heart of the event, I should say. Ito, tawagin na natin ang first set, Father Manny. Okay, diretso na po tayo.
The Vice Mayor serves as the presiding officer of the Sangguniang Panlungsod City Council. Signs warrants drawn on the treasury for all expenditures appropriated for the operations of the city or town. Appoints the officials of the council, except those whose manner of appointment is provided by law. In case of permanent vacancy in the office of the mayor, the vice mayor will serve for the former's unexpired term. In case of temporary vacancy, the vice mayor exercises the powers and duties of the mayor. Now, we call on the candidates.
All right. So sa first round natin, kasamang Nathan, we will witness the candidates for the vice mayoralty of the city of Baguio. And let's call them in on stage.
Yes, I'd like to call on Sir Fred Longboan Bagbagen.
All right. So as we are expecting, hindi makakahabol si Sir Fred Longboan Bagbagen sa event na to because we invited him but he sent back a reply that he has a prior commitment that he has accepted earlier. So next, let's call in Sir Edison Ramos Bilog.
We'd like to call on Isabelo Cosalan. He sent a message also this last night that they have prior commitments as well.
Okay. Let's welcome on stage Sir Jeffrey Balisong Pinik. Ayan, mukhang hindi rin makahabol, ano? And let's call in Ma'am Betty Lourdes Flores Tabanda. All right. So sa ngayon, ulitin namin yung base po sa ating official list, the list of the names of the candidates for the vice mayoralty here in Baguio include Sir Fred Longboan Bagbagen, Sir Edison Ramos Bilog, Sir Isabelo Jr. Bastian Cosalan, Sir Jeffrey Balisong Pinik, and Ma'am Betty Lourdes Flores at Tabanda. So inuulit natin kasamang Nathan that we have sent in fillers and acknowledged the filler and in turn said that some of them will not be able to join us this morning because of prior commitment.
Okay, to get started, we'll give each and every candidate 2 minutes to introduce themselves.
Yes, and of course other things that they might like to talk about. So for this 2 minutes, this becomes automatically their opening statement. So with this setting, mga kaibigan, and our audience and our listeners, we do it alphabetically, no, sa arrangement ng pangalan nila.
Okay, so magsisimula tayo kay Mr. Edison Bilog.
Maraming salamat po. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Tayo po'y binigyan ng Panginoon ng 2 taon para kayo po'y pagsilbihan bilang Vice Mayor. Hindi po natin yan sinayang kahit 1 minuto, hindi po natin inaksaya. Pinilit po natin tapatan yan ng isang matapat at masipag na paglilingkod. Bakit po masipag? Unang-una po, tayo lamang po ang public servant, elected public servant, na meron pong 100% perfect attendance sa buong City Council session for a period of 6 years. Tayo rin po, bakit naman po matapat? dahil tayo rin po sa ngayon, tayo po ay napapalaban sa National Legislative Awards at hopefully, makuha po natin yung award na yan. Bukas po i-award yan doon sa Iloilo. First time po nangyari ito sa ating syudad. Ang City Council napasama po sa National Legislative Award at sana first time rin po natin makuha itong National Legislative Award na ito sponsored by the DILG. Ngunit alam nyo po, kulang po ang 2 taon para po tapusin ang ating po nasimulan. Sabi ko nga po, kinakailangan po natin ng additional 3 years para po tapusin. Ang dapat pong tapusin, simulan po. Ang dapat pong simulan at tapusin rin po ito pong nasimulan na ito. Kaya nga po ako po'y nasa harapan po ninyo, humihingi po ng additional 3 years para sa ganon, ipagpatuloy po natin ang matapat at masipag na paglilingkod po sa inyo at higit sa lahat, yung hindi po trapo, yung hindi po suplado. Dahil kung ano po nakikita nyo po sa akin ngayon, eto na po ako noon, eto pa rin po ako ngayon, at eto pa rin po ako bukas. Hindi po ako nagbago, walang balak magbago, at kahit kailan, hindi magbabago. At lagi nyo pong tatandaan, sa aking opisina, lagi po nakabukas ang aking punto para po sa inyo. Magandang umaga po.
Thank you so much, Mr. Edison Bilog.
All right, to give her opening statement, let's also welcome Ma'am Betty Lourdes Flores at Tabanda. Ma'am, your time starts
A joyous
now.
morning to all of you lovers of Baguio. Baguio is my home. Since I was 2 years old, I grew up in Baguio and have since resided here. Baguio is my home by choice, not by accident of birth. This gives me all the reasons to love Baguio. People, therefore, should be the center of development. In my 21 years in public service, I have focused on legislation for people's welfare, providing land security for families to have a roof over their heads, daycare centers and educational facilities for our children, livelihood and capability opportunities for women and families, opportunities for the continued growth and health of the elderly, and poverty reduction programs for the marginalized sectors. But our efforts are not enough. Since Baguio is for us, the people, like you, I want a Baguio with a pristine environment and a cool climate. Like you, I want a Baguio as a well-planned urban community where streets are safe and there is mobility. Like you, I want a Baguio where growth and development are inclusive, where the poor and vulnerable sectors are empowered. Like you, I want a Baguio with a soul, a city with a character, with people of genuine character, hindi ho trapo, who genuinely care for one another and for the environment. As I embark on another phase of my life of service, I would like to carry out a people-centered agenda with emphasis on people's participation in enhancing a sustainable environment. I believe I'm fully qualified to be the champion in making Baguio a people-centered city. I use the acronym LIGA, L for wisdom, I for integrity, which I challenge any other candidate to have, G for gagot or industriousness, and A for achievement. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Madam or Ma'am Betty Lourdes Flores at Tabanda. Alright, so iniulit natin mga candidates sa Vice Mayoralty position sa syudad ng Baguio. And Nathan, this time, let's proceed to our specific questions.
Yes, common questions which will be answered by both candidates.
And we will be giving them a time frame of 1 minute or 60 seconds.
All right. Well, the first question po, this is very common, long time concern po. How will you address the traffic problem of Baguio City?
Ulitin natin, the question is, how will you address the traffic problem of Baguio City? We have Sir Edison Ramos Bilog.
Unang-una po, kinakailangan po natin i-promote po natin ang biking po dito sa syudad ng Baguio. Magligay po tayo ng biking lanes para sa ganoon tayo po yung mag-bike instead na gumamit po ng sasakyan. Pangalaw po, kinakailangan po matuto po ang mga taga-syudad ng Baguio maglakad para sa ganoon hindi lamang po healthy at makakatulong pa rin po sa traffic problem po natin. At pangatlo po, kinakailangan po magtayo rin po tayo ng mga pay parking areas dito po sa Central Business District para sa ganon, mailagay po natin itong mga nakaparada sa kalsada dito po sa pay parking area ito. At kung may lalagay po natin, just imagine yung Harrison, wala pong nakapark sigurado po, wala pong traffic po dyan sa area yan. Lalong-lalo na po sa Session Road, kung wala pong nakapark doon, asahan nyo, ang daloy ng trapiko, tuloy-tuloy, wala pong hahadlang sa pagdaloy po ng trapiko.
All right. Thank you very much, Sir Edison Ramos Bilog. The same question will be answered. How will you address the traffic problem of Baguio City by Ma'am Betty Lourdes Flores Tabanda?
First, the rationalization of the road network of the city. Kailangan may comprehensive road network plan para we will be able to determine where are the choke points. Number 2, educating the people on the need for walking. Educating the people on the need to reduce the volume of vehicles in the streets. Number 3, of course, providing for the appropriate parking facilities so that we will not have too many vehicles on the road. Number 4, rationalizing the traffic scheme in such a way that jeepneys, for example, will be given appropriate parking spaces and terminals so that they will not be moving around the city at all times to be able to reduce traffic and at the same time pollution. These, I think, are the main solutions we can give to the traffic problem in the city of Baguio. Thank you.
All
Maraming
right,
salamat.
talagang tumitindi kasamang Nathan
Unang
yung
tanong pa lang yan.
pagsagot. Oo. Pero ito kasi baka mag-react yung ating mga tagapakinig. Sasabihin, mukha yatang may tagilid pag ganitong alphabetically arranged yung pangalan nila. Bagamat, so for the information of everyone, yung alphabetical arrangement hindi lagi nag-uumpisa sa A, di ba? Hanggang Z. Pwede ring Z, pabalik
Pabalik.
ng A.
Yan, total, dalawa sila.
So, dalawa sila. Gagawin natin yan in a while.
Okay.
Okay,
Sige.
so
Well,
we will do that later, no?
yeah. Okay, second question po.
Common question?
All right. What is your stand on casino and gambling? And how do you ensure that your stand will materialize?
Let's have Sir Edison Ramos Bilog.
Ako po, 100% against po sa casino. Kinakailangan po, ang Baguio po ay maging moral. Wala po dapat sugalan dito po sa syudad ng Baguio, lalong-lalo na po itong casino. Para po sa akin, kinakailangan mag-pass po tayo ng isang resolution na kung saan sasabihin po talaga natin na ang ating pong syudad dapat free sa casino at kahit kailan, hindi dapat pumasok ang casino dito po sa ating bayan. Dahil pagka pumasok po yan, sigurado po ang ating pong mga kababayan, ang maghihirap, mga pamilya, ang siguradong maghihiwalay dahil lamang po sa pagsusugal ng isang tao. Kaya para po sa akin, no to casino, no, no, no.
Family welfare has always been my advocacy. From the very start, I have been vehemently against casinos. And I would like to challenge any other candidate to have this stand. May mga nagsasabi ho na against casino. Bakit bumoboto in favor of casino or other forms of gambling in the city? Bakit sasabihin na hindi pumirma ng resolution nandun naman ang pirma? Let us be consistent. Integrity is necessary. How will we implement this? Hindi ho resolution ang kailangan. Ordinansa para now and forever, no to casinos.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Betty Lourdes Flores Tabanda.
Yan. Okay.
Let's have the next question.
po. Is there a need for Baguio barangays to undergo merging and restructuring?
Okay, sa question na ito, let's reverse the alphabet.
Yes, simulan natin.
Ulitin natin
kay-
muna yung question. Is there a need for Baguio barangays to undergo merging or restructuring? In this time, to answer that, in 1 minute, we have Ma'am Betty Lourdes Flores Tabanda.
The barangays are the basic unit of governance. The barangays are actually the voice of the people. There is a need for rationalization of the barangays. This will mean merging when necessary and division if necessary. Why? The optimum delivery of services will require that barangays should be focused within a particular territorial limit. The delivery of services will also require that funds should be readily available. And at the moment, funds are not always available to the very small barangays because they have minimal sources of funding. So I believe rationalization is necessary. It will save the city a lot. It will enable the barangays to deliver the services, and at the same time, it will enable the people in the barangay to have optimum participation in governance.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Betty Lourdes Flores Tabanda. Next, Sir Edison Ramos Bilog. Sir?
Kinakailangan po natin ng merging. Bakit po? Unang-una po para mas malaki po ang pondo na pwede pong gamitin ng ating mga barangay. Sabihin na nga po natin na maaaring matanggal po ang ating pong mga ibang barangay officials. Pero lagi nyo pong tatandaan bilang public servant, kinakailangan magsakripisyo po kayo kung ito po ay makakabuti sa ating bayan, kung ito po ay makakabuti sa ating mga kababayan. Ito pong pag-merge ng ating barangay, definitely ang makikinabang po dito ang ating bayan, ang ating barangay, at higit sa lahat ang ating mga kababayan. Kaya kung kayo man po ay matatanggal bilang mga barangay officials, yan po ay parte ng public service. Kinakailangan sakripisyo para tayo po ay umasenso. Marami pong salamat sa inyo lahat.
All right, thank you very much, Sir Edison Ramos Bilog.
How would you ensure the efficient implementation of programs and policies concerning the residents' welfare and city development? Let's start with Ma'am Betty Lourdes Tabanda.
First of all, before there is efficient implementation, there must be effective legislation. And then once there is effective legislation, this will now be implemented. But I would like to think that even in the process of legislation, people's participation is necessary. This is why in the City Council, I am the only councilor who has approved a resolution encouraging People's Congress to enable people to participate. Because if the people have a stake, have ownership of legislation, it will be easier to implement. Because they will be implementing what they themselves have thought of, which they themselves have crafted. So people's participation from the very start is the key to the effective implementation of programs for the welfare of the city.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Let's have Sir Edison.
Sa public consultation, dito po makaka-formulate po tayo ng magagandang batas. At dahil magaganda po ito, dapat po nating i-implement po ito. Ngunit bilang Vice Mayor, hindi po ibig sabihin nito, hindi po kayo pwede mag-implement. Kinakailangan po, bilang Vice Mayor, itaas nyo po ito pong tracking system po natin sa siyudad ng Baguio, lalo-lalo na po sa Sangguniang Panlunsod, para sa ganon, malaman po natin ang dahilan kung bakit hindi na-implement ang isang batas. At malaman rin po natin kung ano pa ho ang mga dapat po nating i-amend doon sa batas na yon. Kinakailangan po ang pagtulong-tulong po natin. Kinakailangan po ang tulong ng bayan, kinakailangan na rin po ang tulong ng ating mga opisyales. Kahit kailan, wala pong Superman na opisyal para lamang po ma-solve at ma-implement po ang ating batas. Kinakailangan tayo po'y sama-sama para po isang walis tingting, kinakailangan buklod-buklod at nagkakaisa para po sa implementation ng ating mga batas.
Thank you very much, Sir Bilog.
Okay. What is your view on the development of the city public market under po ng Uniwide Corporation? Let's start po with Ma'am Betty.
I am not certain if it is still necessary to talk about that matter because the matter on Uniwide is still hanging in the air. Whether or not Uniwide is qualified to develop, whether or not development can take place, whether Uniwide is capable of doing this or not, these are not yet settled matters. But whether they are settled or not, my view is that there is the need to develop the public market. As much as possible, the development should be a stakeholders development where those who are in the market should have a stake, should have an ownership of the development of the city market. This is my view, because it's the only way we can preserve what we call the soul of the city, the heart of the city, the public market. When people come here, even the residents, they consider the market as the heart of our city. So this is my view on that development.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Betty Lourdes Tabanda.
Let's have Sir Bilog.
Unang-una po, hindi po ako boboto para po sa Uniwide contract. Bakit po? Unang-una po, nabalitaan na po natin at nabasa ko po sa dyaryo at sinabi na po ng Securities and Exchange Commission, yung Uniwide na yan, bangkarote na. Bakit po? Dahil ang kanya pong liabilities, 10 billion. Ang kanya pong asset, 3 billion. Paano po makakadevelop ang isang bangkaroting korporasyon kung siya po ay magkakautang ng 7 billion? Hindi po ba ang gagawin lamang po niyan sa bliss? Ang mangyayari po dyan, yung isa pong korporasyon, laway lamang po ang kapital, siya na po ang makikinabang. Para po sa akin, kinakailangan yung Uniwide contract na yan, maripaso, marevise, at higit sa lahat, makancel. Para sa ganon, yung ating pong palengke, ibigay po natin sa mga tao at hindi po sa isang bangkaroting korporasyon.
Thank you very much, Sir Bilog. Okay, this time medyo maiba muna tayo ng style.
Tama.
Question number 18. Manood muna tayo ng konti.
Yeah,
Kasama
picture of
Nathan.
an editorial
May we request
cartoon.
our candidates to take a look at the screen. Ayan.
Siguro naman po, well understood yung
Ayan.
ating nasa screen.
Can you please make your own reaction on the screen that we have, on the illustration that we have on the screen for the benefit of our listeners? Ito ay, and we would like to acknowledge the writer of this cartoon illustration, si Sir Jojen Tamayo
Tamayo.
ng Baguio Midland Courier, and I think this was published about 2 Sundays ago. Kung nagsasaan, for the benefit of our listeners, may naka-drawing na kalsada, paakyat sa
Baguio.
isang bundok. And then
At
on the
traffic.
right side, merong nakalagay na welcome Panagbanga. May mga hiliran ng sasakyan paakyat. And then on the other lane, merong pababang mga kotse. Tapos ang ang pangalan ng kotse ay Baguio.
Sila yung bumababa.
Oo, Baguio, pababa. And then
Mga
long
turista
lines
pa.
of vehicles on the other side going up. Welcome Panagbanga, sabi doon. Okay, so your comment please. We start with Sir Bilog.
Sa aking pananaw, ito po ang nangyayari po ngayon sa atin tuwing tayo po nagse-celebrate ng Panagbenga. Bakit po? Yung ating pong mga kababayan umaalis po sa Baguio dahil po sa problema sa traffic. Problema po sa sobrang commercialization ng ating pong Panagbenga. Bakit hindi na lamang po itong Panagbenga sana ang maging outlet ng ating pong mga produkto para sa ganon, yung mga produkto po ng Cordillera, dito po natin i-promote sa Panagbenga ito. Nakakalungkot, kinakailangan pa umalis ng ating mga taong bayan, pero sa isang mabuting pamamaraan, pwede po natin ito masolve sa pamamagitan po ng pagbibigay po sa kanila ng active participation tuwing meron pong celebration ng ating pong Panagbenga. Para po sa akin, kinakailangan huwag po masyadong commercialization ang mangyari sa ating pong Panagbenga.
Thank you so much, Sir Bilog.
Ma'am Tabanda?
The Panagbenga was originated with a very good and noble purpose. That was to bring out the culture, to attract people, to appreciate what the culture in Baguio and the Cordilleras is. This is a sad commentary of what it has become. It has now become commercialized. It has now become a basis of a lot of problems like traffic. But I think that this should be a wake-up call. It should be a start of a review, a rationalization of the Panagbenga. Because I do not think that any citizen of Baguio would like to do away with the Panagbenga. It has brought us a soul. It has brought us a manifestation of our culture. It has made the festival an identifying festival of the city. So what needs to be done is, let us solve the problems of traffic. Let us solve the problems of commercialization. Let us see to it that truly it is a Baguio festival participated in by the people of Baguio.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Tabanda, and kasamang Nathan, and sa lahat na nanonood and nakikinig sa atin, let's talk about cultural and historical sites in Baguio. Question number 50 sa ating crew. And the question says,
What is your plan po for the cultural and historical sites in Baguio City? Let's start with Sir Edison.
Sir Edison, Bilog.
Unang-una po, kinakailangan po i-identify yan po ng City Council sa tulong po ng tao. Kinakailangan i-consult po natin sa tao kung ano po ang dapat po nating i-declare ng mga national heritage o national historical site. Pagkatapos po noon, i-forward po natin sa NCCA para ma-aproban po yan at ma-declare na national heritage o national historical site. Hindi po pa pwede po yung nangyayari po ngayon sistema na kung saan sinasabi po nila na yung po daw NCCA, declare na lang po ng declare. Ang nangyayari po, wala pong consultation sa City Council, wala rin pong consultation sa taong bayan. Para po sa akin, once na na-declare na isang historical area o historical site ang isang pong lugar, kinakailangan i-preserve na po natin yan at no sa development hanggat walang paalam sa mga appropriate o mga concerned authorities. Marami pong salamat.
Thank you very much, Sir Bilog. Ma'am Tabanda?
Before anything can be done, there should be a citywide consultation on what truly is the culture that we want to preserve. This will be necessary for us to go on to the next step, which is the identification of the cultural sites and historical sites in the city. But this has to be done in consultation with all the sectors of the city. Once this has been done, a master plan for the development and preservation of these sites is necessary. For example, Baguio is and was an American colony, an American town. What are we doing about this? It is very, very good to imagine a cultural site in Baguio of an American town which was originally the plan in 1909. So, I agree, no development until after consultation, no identification of cultural sites until after consultation with all the sectors.
Thank you very much, ma'am. All right, we invite again our participants or our viewers here in the venue to give a round of applause to our candidates for a vice mayoralty position here in the city of Baguio. Now we still have another set. So we will proceed now to the other set of questions. And this time, gagawin po natin, we are going to draw the question that each one of you will exclusively answer.
Okay, kami po yung bubunot.
Ayan.
Sige, mauna na ako, partner Albert.
Okay. So again, to be answered in 1 minute time frame.
This will be answered by Sir Bilog.
Kaya ba Sir Bilog?
Okay. Sir, the city spends millions in garbage disposal. Now, do you have a system in mind that will be more effective than our present system?
Yes po. Unang-una, mas maganda po siguro magtayo po tayo ng isang engineered sanitary landfill dito po sa syudad ng Baguio. Definitely po, ito pong hauling of garbage, hindi dapat po maging permanenteng solusyon. Ito po ay temporary lamang. Para po sa akin, isang engineered sanitary landfill na kung saan ilalagay po natin ang ating mga basura doon. Pagkatapos po niyan natin may pagawa at may patuyo yung engineered sanitary landfill, saka po tayo mag-adapt ng mga technologies. For me, ang isang maganda pong technology ay ito pong waste to energy. Para sa ganun, mapakinabangan po natin yan at maging kuryente ang ating basura. Tama po ang sabi nila, may pera po sa basura, pero masakit po nito, yung pong basura natin, imbis na pakinabangan po natin, ibinibigay po natin sa ibang bayan, ang masakit nun, nagbabayad pa ho tayo, gumagastos po tayo. 200 million every year para lamang po sa hauling ng ating basura. Dapat nang itigil po yan. Dapat permanenteng solusyon at hindi temporary solusyon katulad po ng hauling.
Yes, thank you so much, Sir Bilog.
Okay, so konting paalala lang sa ating crowd, no? So pinagbabawal muna natin ang cheering. Pakinggan lang muna natin yung mga kasagutan nila, no? Okay. So for the next question, and this is for Madam Tabanda, question number 9. Okay? And question number 9 says, what can you do to eliminate long waiting time in the Baguio City Hall and make it an efficient public service center?
First, streamlining of the procedures and processes. Definite checklist of what requirements are needed. Number 2, computerization. I am quite surprised that in other areas, building permits and other permits are all computerized. So it becomes easier. In fact, it may even be possible to access and to apply online, provided all the documents are submitted. This is the reason why I have, for example, requested, if it is possible, that taxes should be paid through the bank, through credit cards, so that people will not fall in line to pay taxes. Up to now, my proposal has not been acted upon. But could you imagine, if from your own home, you can pay, you can access your taxes, how much you're supposed to pay, you can pay through credit card. This will eliminate long lines in City Hall.
Thank you
very
so much, Ma'am
Tabanda.
Betty. Sir Bilog, yung problem of the city, question number 61. Another big problem of the city is yung sinagot niyo po kanina, which is waste management and disposal. So there have been various measures undertaken, but most of this have not succeeded and have caused us a lot. How do you plan to resolve this issue?
Unang-una po, tama po yan. Yung ERS machine, ano po nangyari? 128 million ang nangyari po palpak. hindi po gaano na-solve ang ating pong problema. Para po sa akin, kinakailangan po, aproban po natin yung 10-year waste management plan. Sa ngayon, wala pa ho tayong definite solution. Bakit po? Dahil yung 10-year waste management plan po natin, hindi pa ho na-approve ng City Council. It's about time. Mag-decide na po ang ating city government kung ano po talaga ang gusto po natin gawin sa basura. Kung waste to energy, yun po ang ating pong ipagpatuloy. Yun po ang ating tahakin. Kung ano pa hong ibang technology, kinakailangan pag-decide na po natin habang maaga, pero definite, wag na po sana yung howling. At pangalawa, yung pong ERS, dapat yung mga involved po dyan, kasuhan na po nang sa ganon, yung ating pong pondo ay talaga pong ma-justify naman kung bakit po natin ginamit yan sa ERS machine.
Thank you so much, Sir Bilog.
Ma'am Tabanda, question number 21.
21.
Okay. Yan, so question number 21. We are showing on screen a picture of a mendicant, a beggar, or a stray children, and some, according to the question written on the piece of paper I am reading, some are being used as a syndicate. Will you please comment, ma'am?
I am very concerned with this kind of issue because it is my committee that takes care of this. It is a sad commentary that in the city of Baguio, we have scenes like this. But upon investigation, we find out that these are not residents of Baguio. It is true, there is the possibility of a syndicate because it has been seen that one van has been distributing children around here, the city. What are we doing? The city social welfare with the women's and children's desk have been getting these children, bringing them to the Silungan Center, giving them the necessary treatment, medical and so on, trying to look for the parents, the families of this. And if none can be found, they are taken under the care of the social welfare. But like I said, this is a sad commentary. So what are we doing to prevent this from happening? We are encouraging and implementing effective parenting so that no child in the city of Baguio will be in this condition. We are doing economic empowerment so that they will not have this condition.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Tabanda.
Okay, question number 43. Yeah, for Sir Edison. Yeah. Sidewalks becoming parking spaces, especially po in the evening.
Tama po kayo. Kahit po sa sulok po dito sa siyudad ng Baguio, yan po ang isang problema. At nagkokos po yan ng traffic. Para po nga sa akin, katulad po niyan, sa Central Business District area, kinakailangan magkaroon po tayo ng pay parking at ilagay po natin itong mga sasakyan na nakaparada po sa sidewalk. Para po sa akin, kinakailangan po natin ng political will para po ma-implement yan. Ang sabi nga po nila, madami daw po magagalit sa atin kung i-implement po natin, lalong-lalo na po itong mga may-ari ng sasakyan. Pero kung may political will po tayo para i-implement po at gawin po talagang kalsada para daanan po yan at hindi po pagparkingan, kinakailangan po natin, yun po ang ating ipatupad. Political will, pangalawa po, pay parking area para sa ganun, mailagay po natin ang mga sasakyan sa dapat po nilang kalagyan.
Thank you so much, Sir Edison.
All right, question for Ma'am Tabanda, question number 6. And while we are waiting for, ayan na, nandiyan na, question number 6, it says, how will you help implement ordinances in the city of Baguio?
Of course, with the separation of powers, legislative, executive, the implementation of ordinances is primarily the responsibility of the executive. However, as a legislator, we have what we call the legislative tracking system. I know about this because I was once upon a time a vice mayor. This is the process whereby staff from the Sangguniang go and find out how the ordinances which are approved are being implemented. This will enable us to find out why they are not being implemented. Recommendations can be made to the executive. But I think that the most important thing I can do to help implement ordinances is to be, first of all, a model to follow the ordinances. It is difficult for us councilors and officials to say, let us follow the ordinances if we ourselves are not the models. For example, coding. We should not violate coding. We should see to it that we follow this simple ordinance. Jaywalking. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Tabanda.
Sir Edison, question number 52, please. What are your plans for developing Baguio's parks and forest lands?
Unang-una po, kinakailangan po talaga po itong mga parks na ito at forest doon lamang po sa kanila pong purpose. That is, maging park, maging forest. Wag po dapat po sanang pasukin ng mga illegal settlers. Para po sa akin, pwede po natin maigawa ito sa pamamagitan po ng konsultasyon sa ating mga tao. Paano po ba ang pagde-develop ng ating po mga parke? Katulad po dito sa Botanical Garden, nung tayo po nakipagkonsulta sa kanila, ang gusto po nila gawin pong by era yung pong mga nandoon sa Botanical Park. Kung mayroon pong area na sa 1960s, 1970s, 1980s, year 2000, and so forth and so on. Para sa ganun, ma-attract po natin ang mga tourist sa ating mga parke at nang sa ganun, bumalik pa rin po ang ating mga turista. Ang sabi nga po nila, wala daw pong bago sa ating syudad ng Baguio, pero pagka ito'y ginawa, pagka tayo po yung nagtulong-tulong, sigurado po, babalik at babalik po yan, bibisitahin at bibisitahin pa rin po ang ating pong mga parke.
Maraming salamat po, Sir Edison.
And let's proceed to the last question. Question number 8. And this is for Madam or Ma'am Tabanda. And it says, what is your vision and mission for Baguio City in the next 3 years?
As I stated in my opening statement, my vision is a city and urban center with sustainable environment but people-centered. What I want to say is that any form of development in the city should always consider first and foremost the welfare of the people, primarily of the people of Baguio. My vision is, in the next 3 years, we will be able to have a rational solution to the waste management problem of the city. We will be able to have a more rational traffic problem scheme in the city. We will be able to reduce the poverty level in the city, especially for the marginalized groups. We will be able to provide more services to other sectors of society, such as the women, the elderly, the PWDs. And most of all, we will be a character city where every resident of Baguio will be a person of good character. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam or Ma'am Tabanda. So ladies and gentlemen, inyong napakinggan at napanood ang ating candidates for the Vice Mayoralty candidate dito sa ating
Pulse check.
Yes,
Yan.
pulse check, the Baguio we want and the Baguio they promise. Alam natin, marami nakangiti kasamang Nathan, mukhang napitin sila. Kaya we are inviting you to continue to attend pag may mga karagdagan pang mga local candidates forum na inyo makasama muli ang ating mga candidates. May we invite you to also join that particular endeavor. And at this point, sayang, no, hindi natin hawak ang oras kasamang Nathan. No?
Napakainit pa naman ng discussion.
Sana natin, but since we need to accommodate also the other position, we temporarily end up our discussions with our Vice Mayoralty candidate sa segment na ito. In the meantime, let us all together witness our candidates will be making their pledge of integrity.
Yes.
Okay, and here, we are giving them a sheet of paper. Nakasulat po doon yung kanilang oath. Nasaan yung ating kopya? Kasamang Nathan?
Kay Acton.
Okay.
Ayun.
So, binabasa nila yung kanilang oath. Of course, they're going to sign that later on.
They'll read it together. Okay.
Okay, sabay.
I pledge.
I sign
this
integrity pledge for free, orderly, honest, peaceful, and credible elections. And through my words and actions, commit to abide by the tenets of our Constitution, election laws, rules and regulations, respecting the sanctity of our electoral exercise. I will not employ any form of violence, force, or threat that may impair, impede, or unduly influence the free exercise of the people's right of suffrage. I will ensure the prompt and accurate reporting and disclosure of campaign-related expenses. I will not offer or give bribes or gifts to corrupt the integrity of our democratic process. As a candidate seeking the people's mandate in order to serve them, I shall respect the norms of conduct expected of public servants and commit to run a clean campaign, observing fairness, common decency, honesty, and good faith. All these I commit and subscribe to, freely and voluntarily, fully accountable to Almighty God and to the Filipino people as my witnesses.
Okay, we'd like to ask the two candidates po to sign it here in the table beside us. Ito po, sir. Here you go, ma'am.
Alright, katatapos ng kanilang pagpirma, ladies and gentlemen, ito na.
Yes,
Itinataas
palakpakan
na
natin.
nila yung ating mga candidates, Sir Edison Ramos Bilog at Ma'am Betty Lourdes Flores Tabanda, ang kanilang pinirmahan na Pledge of Integrity.
Okay, palakpakan po uli natin sila.
Okay, so thank you very much. Okay na po, maraming salamat po ulit, ladies and gentlemen, our viewers, our listeners, si Sir Edison Ramos Bilog and si Ma'am Betty Lourdes Flores Tabanda, mga candidates for the Vice Mayoralty position of the City of Baguio.
Alright.
Inuulit natin kasamang Nathan, for the sake of our viewers and listeners. We invited all the candidates pero nagkataon na yung
Meron
mga ibang
silang
candidates
commitments.
hindi nakasama sa atin ngayon because of their prior commitment. In the meantime, ang nakasama lang natin ngayong umaga ay sila Sir Edison Ramos Bilog and Ma'am Betty Lourdes Flores Tabanda. At this point, we shall proceed to the launching of the website of the diocese on the Pulse Check, the Baguio We Want, and the Baguio They Promised link. And may we request, may we call in Reverend Father Manny Flores, the convener of the Pulse Check, the Baguio We Want, the Baguio They Promise group.
Yes, let's call on Reverend Father Manny Flores.
Ayan, so nabanggit natin kanina, na I'm sure that you would still like to participate in this political exercise. Gaya ng sinasabi sa Ilocano, botante, namnama, iti umili. You can participate in our website courtesy of the Diocese of Baguio. Father Manny?
Thank you very much indeed for giving us this opportunity to help out, especially the citizens of Baguio. We're still looking into whether we're going to launch that website when it comes to our election survey. And due to some suggestions and some concerns, we are still discerning over it. But right now, we're very happy to the turnout po ng nangyaring ginagawa po nating Pulse Check. And hopefully for us to continually support these kinds of different programs. I hope you don't mind, we're just setting up right now our and continue supporting these kinds of activities. Maraming salamat po.
Yes, and again, we'd like to thank Father Manuel Flores.
Ayan, si Father Manny Flores, ang ating convener sa Baguio or sa Pulse Check, the Baguio We Want and the Baguio They Promised. Actually, this group is composed by different volunteer groups. Maraming iba't ibang grupo po ito kasamang Nathan.
Yes, and palakpakan din natin yung siyempre yung nag-organize.
Okay,
the
so
Baguio that we want.
another big round of applause para sa ating mga volunteers. And again, sa lahat na nakikinig sa atin sa radyo, DCWT 540, maraming salamat din. And we are being heard simulcast over DCWR 99.9 Country FM, still courtesy of the Mountain Province Broadcasting Corporation of the Diocese of Baguio. And of course, maraming salamat din sa mga kasama natin sa media, our TV outlets, and our other radio outlets for this event.